What's up, YouTube? This your boy Waterswan here with a brand new deck profile for Gishki's. It's exactly a month before Hidden Arsenal 6 is released and will be legal for the TCG. So I want to go ahead and put up a deck profile for you guys using the new Gishki support via Gustkraken and Gishki Vision. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get to the deck profile. First up, 2 Evigishki Soul Ogres. One copy of Evigishki Mind Augus. A lot of people like to run 3 Gustkrakens, but I like to have a little more versatility within my deck. So I like to play Evigishki Mind Augus. She's basically in there to for Insectus matchup, Chaos Dragon matchup, any deck that thrives as well in the hand as in the graveyard as well as in the hand. Mind Augus is going to pick up the slack there, while Gustkraken takes away my opponent's hand. So I like to Evigishki Mind Augus at 1. Next up, Evigishki Gustkraken. When this card is ritual summon, I look at random 2 cards from my opponent's hand, choose one of those cards to go back to the deck, and the other return to my opponent's hand. This card is easily searched by Gishki Abyss. So this is one of the win conditions of the deck. That's Evigishki Gustkraken. Next up, 1 Gishki Chain, 1 Gishki Marker. When this card is normal summon, I add 1 ritual spell, or any summon. Summon any way, form, or fashion. When this card is summoned, add 1 Gishki ritual monster, or 1 Gishki ritual spell card from your graveyard to your hand. And I'll show why I play this guy later on. Gishki Emilia. When she's normal summon, she's also a spirit too, guys. When she's normal summon, negate all face-up traps on the board. Alright guys, so my opponent doesn't Solemn Warning her or Solemn Judgment her. My opponent has no traps for the entire turn. A must, 3 Gishki Beast for XYZ summon. 3 Gishki Shadows. Pitch, search for a ritual spell card, and counts as a Torrential Tribute as for a ritual summon. Also searchable by Gishki Abyss. Gishki Abyss. When this card is summoned in any way, form, or fashion via normal summon, special summon, or brought out by Gishki Beast, I search my deck for a Gishki monster with 1,000 less defense, and I add it to my hand. I only play 2 copies of Gishki Vision. You can pitch this card from your hand to search your deck for any Gishki ritual spell monster. Any Gishki ritual monster. Ritual monster, and it also counts as an entire tribute of ritual summon, also for water ritual. 1 copy of Gorz, 2 copies of Trash. These are my hand traps, guys. Stop me from being OTK'd. The reason why I like to play Trag over now, this essentially would be the spots for DC Diva. Alright guys, for those guys that play DC Diva in a build. The reason why I like Trag and Gorz, the 2 Trags and the Gorz over the DC Divas, is because these guys help stop me from being OTK'd, stuff like that. And I also use Trag to bring out rank 6 monsters and rank 8 monsters. Alright guys, so, and he also takes, like, by me having a lot of cards in my hand and different stars and different levels and stuff like that, I can also manipulate my opponent's field just by taking 4-star monsters, taking 6-star monsters, taking 8-star monsters, and just turn those monsters against my opponent, wearing them down. Alright guys, so that's why I feel like Trag is a better choice over DC Divas and stuff like that in a Gishki deck, but to each his own. There's no wrong way to play this deck. Next up is spells. A must, 3 copies of Gishki Aquamirror. Now this is the reason. Next up is Forbidden Arts of Gishki. This is the reason why I actually tech Marker in at 1. Alright guys, like I said, Marker gets his effect any way he's summoned. Special summon, normal summon, and by Gishki Beast. Alright guys, so when I use this card, I used this in, and I got to this, I really teched it in once I seen my matchup against Heroes and Chaos Dragon. Alright, now the thing is with this card, I can make Light Pulsar miss timing, and I can make the Shiny lose timing also. Alright guys, because what's going to happen is, let me show you exactly how this is going to go. Let's see, let's take out Soul Orb, and let's take out Gustkraken. Let me show you how this actually going to play out. Alright guys, say my opponent has a face-up Shiny on board, and I have Forbidden Arts of the Gishki. I activate Forbidden Arts of the Gishki, uses Shiny as a tribute to summon my Soul Orb. Alright, so I bring Soul Orb down to defense, and when this resolve, well, it's going to resolve like this. Forbidden Arts is going to get played, I off his Shining up. Shiny's going to go to the graveyard, and the last thing on the chain to resolve is the summon of my monster. So which in essence makes the Shining miss timing altogether. Alright guys, because for Shining to get his effect off with his graveyard effect, it has to be the last thing on the chain. But the last thing on the chain was not his effect, it was the summon of my monster. Alright guys, kind of understand that? Alright, if you don't, I got another one for you. Alright, let's say my opponent has like Pulsar on board, and I use Forbidden Arts of the Gishki. Pulsar goes to the graveyard, and I ritual summon Evigishki Gustkraken. Alright guys, like I said, the last thing on the chain to resolve was the summon of my monster, not like Pulsar's effect in the graveyard. Alright guys, so it doesn't bring any kind of realms back or dark flare monsters or anything like that back from the graveyard. Alright guys, so it's just a nice little trick. Alright, this Forbidden Arts of the Gishki. Next up, we have 3 copies of Salvage, a must in any Gishki deck. Alright guys, it brings back Gishki Beast, Gishki Shadow, Gishki Vision, and Gishki Abyss. Alright guys, so it's a must at 3. Next up we got Staple, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and Dark Hole. Alright, on to the traps. First up, I play 2 copies of Regeki Break. As you guys already know, I'm not a big fan of MST and main board. I like a little versatility in my deck. So what I did was I took the MSTs out and now I'm playing Regeki Breaks. So that way I can destroy front row and back row. Alright guys. And most of the time I'll have a card to pitch because I seem to recycle all my ritual monsters back to my hand via Gishki Aquamirror. Alright. So I always got something to pitch. Next, 2 copies of Solemn Warning, 2 copies of Torrential Tribute, 2 copies of Bottomless, great against Chaos Dragons, and 1 copy of Mirror Force. Alright guys, let's get into the extra deck. Extra deck, first up we have rank 8, Heretic, Sun Dragon, Overlord, Apocalypse. Like I said guys, it's easy to get into this guy with using Trag, or the other way is 2 Soul Orbs. You summon 2 Soul Orbs on the board. But I really don't advise that. You might just go ahead and tap the Soul Orbs and stuff like that and get maximum damage, or unless your opponent has a lot of back row, then use the Sun Dragon to destroy all the back row. But like I said, if my opponent hit me and he has an 8-star monster on board, I drop Trag. My next turn, I pitch a Soul Orb to take his 8-star monster, and use Trag's ability to change his star to 8 from the Soul Orb that I pitch, and just overlay into the Sun Dragon. Easiest thing. Alright, next up, 1 copy of Thunder Charger to overlay on my 6s. Next up, number 25, Force Focus, the camera. Great against Chaos Dragons. 1 copy of Photon Street Bouncer. 1 copy of Insect the Exobeetle. On to the rank 4s. Number 32, Shark Drake, my personal favorite. This is actually a new guy too, Valion Sigma. Once per turn, you can attach. You attach 1 XYZ material to target 1 attack position monster, effect monster your opponent controls. Equip that target to this card at the start. Let me see. Let me turn this back this way. Yeah, at the start of the damage step, if this card battles with a monster whose attribute is the same as the equipped card by this effect, destroy that monster. So he's pretty much a catastrophe in XYZ form, guys. So he's pretty good. Next up, number C39 Chaos Ray is a must-have if you're gonna play Number 39, Utopia. Alright guys, so I'll play 1 copy of each. 1 copy of Gem-Night Pearl. 2 copies of Evigishki Mirror guys. Alright guys, standard 2 level 4s. After damage calculation, if this card destroys opponent monster by battle, I can detach one of the XYZ materials from this card to instead send that card to the graveyard, send it back to the deck. So it's pretty good. I use it mainly against levels and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good card. 1 copy of Steel Swarm Roach, great against Chaos Dragons. 1 copy of Maestro, Dajan. And last but not least, 1 Gucci, or Scotch Gangsters, I like calling it, whatever. So 1 copy of that guy. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up the deck profile for this particular Gishki build. If you guys want to see a 6-star build, just straight 6-star with using Gustkraken and stuff like that, and the hand loop, I'll go ahead and give you guys a deck profile of that. Just give me about 50 likes or something like that, and I'll go ahead and put that video out there for you guys. Alright guys, one thing to take in mind, the 6-star build that I'm going to give you guys, any Gishki 6-star build, it's not, they vary into the hand loop. And if you don't have the hand loop going off the first or second turn, not to say you're going to lose anything like that, it's just, that's what the deck revolves around, hand loop. Alright guys, say it's wind-ups. If wind-ups don't hand loop you, they pretty much dead in the water or something like that. So the same thing applies for Gishki, but they got a little more tricks than wind-ups. So if you guys give me 50 likes, I'll go ahead and put that video out for you guys. And like I said, that's pretty much it for the video. Water Twin out. Peace.